Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chrisley knows best. Julie Chrisley gets prison visitors on big day. This time last year, Todd and Julie Chrisley were a week away from starting their prison sentences. But this year, the Chrisley Knows Best alums will be behind bars as Julie celebrates her birthday. It's the first birthday that she spends behind bars, so she will get some visitors to cheer her up. Julie Chrisley hopes to get out of prison soon. Ever since Todd and his wife reported to prison, their daughter, Savannah, and their legal team fought to get them out again. Though she takes a lot of heat for that, there are still millions of fans of the family who hope for an early release. In that area, things are looking promising as both of the former reality TV stars got their sentences reduced. Julie Chrisley will now serve 5 years behind bars, but they stand a good chance of getting out even earlier once their appeal is heard in April this year. Oral argument hearings being approved are about as rare as hen's teeth, so their attorneys presented evidence that seemed reasonable. But for now, the mom of Grayson, Savannah, Chase, and Chloe celebrates her birthday behind bars. Chrisley Knows Best family visit their mom. Grayson Chrisley hates the idea of every weekend being spent at either the Federal Medical Center Lexington in Kentucky or at Pensacola FCI. However, according to a report by People, he will visit his mom in Kentucky on Friday when she turns 51 years old. Alongside him will be his adopted sister Chloe and his big sister Savannah. The outlet cited Alex Little, the attorney for Julie Chrisley and her family, as saying, "Will the former Chrisley Knows Best star be free before this time next year?" Well, it seems that even if the oral arguments end up in their favor, it won't happen in 5 minutes. Little also used the word long to describe the procedure. Notably, the appeal won't be a chance for Todd and Julie Chrisley to get out of prison for a while. It's just judges who sit with lawyers and argue various points of law. Julie Chrisley stood in the small, sterile room at the federal prison, her eyes fixated on the heavy steel door. The hum of fluorescent lights filled the space, but Julie barely noticed. Today was a special day, a rare break from the monotony of her sentence. The anticipation was almost unbearable as she waited for her visitors, her family, her lifeline. The past months had been grueling. Julie, ever the Southern matriarch, had always prided herself on keeping her family together through thick and thin, but nothing could have prepared her for this chapter of her life. In her darkest hours, she clung to memories of Sunday dinners, laughter-filled vacations, and even Todd's over-the-top antics. Today, those memories would come to life, if only for a few precious hours. The door creaked open and Julie's heart leaped. Savannah was the first to step inside, her golden hair shining as if she were an angel sent to brighten Julie's gray world. Behind her, Chase followed, his usual smirk replaced with a softer expression, tinged with guilt and sadness. Grayson trailed behind, his growth over the past months evident in his now towering frame. And then there was Nanny Faye, a burst of energy and personality wrapped in a leopard print blouse, holding a paper bag that Julie guessed was filled with contraband treats. "Mama!" Savannah exclaimed, rushing forward to embrace her mother. Julie felt the tears sting her eyes as she wrapped her arms around her daughter. "Oh, sweetheart, I've missed you so much." Nanny Faye didn't wait for an invitation, shuffling forward with her arms outstretched. "Come here, baby girl. Prison or not, you still look better than half the folks at the Piggly Wiggly." Julie laughed, a sound she hadn't heard from herself in months. "Nanny, you always know what to say." Chase and Grayson hung back momentarily, but eventually they joined the hug, their strong arms enveloping their mother in a cocoon of love. For a brief moment, Julie could almost forget where she was. After the initial reunion, they sat around a plastic table in the visitation room. Nanny Faye plopped her bag on the table and began unpacking its contents. "I brought you some of your favorites, homemade pimento cheese and a little something extra," she said, lowering her voice to a conspiratorial whisper. Julie's eyes widened. "Nanny, you didn't." "Oh, hush. It's just a little bottle of hot sauce. These guards wouldn't know good Southern cooking if it smacked 'em upside the head." Everyone chuckled, and for a moment, the room felt like home. Julie savored the moment, knowing it was fleeting. Savannah leaned forward, her voice dropping to a more serious tone. "Mom, we're working on your appeal. We're not giving up." Julie reached across the table and placed a hand over Savannah's. I know, honey, and I trust you all to do what you can. But I need you to promise me something. Don't put your lives on hold for me. You need to keep living, keep dreaming. Savannah's lip quivered, but she nodded. We're not stopping, Mom. But we're not leaving you behind either. Chase chimed in, trying to lighten the mood. And don't worry about Dad. He's been keeping everyone on their toes, even from his prison. The guards probably wish they could put him in solitary just to get a break from his sass. Julie laughed, imagining Todd's sharp wit clashing with the prison staff. That sounds about right. Grayson, who had been quiet up until now, spoke up. Mom, I've been helping out more at home. Cooking, cleaning, well, kind of. Savannah won't let me near the laundry after I turned her white dress pink. Bless your heart, Julie said, her motherly instincts kicking in. I'm proud of you for trying, though. As the family exchanged stories, the atmosphere in the room shifted. The sterile walls seemed less oppressive, the harsh lighting less unforgiving. Julie realized that this visit was more than just a brief escape. It was a reminder of her strength, her resilience, and the unbreakable bond she shared with her family. Nanny Faye, never one to let a serious moment linger too long, clapped her hands together. All right, enough of this sentimental nonsense. Julie, I've got a plan to bust you out of here. All we need is a cake with a file baked inside. Everyone burst into laughter, and even the nearby guard cracked a smile. Julie shook her head, tears of mirth streaming down her cheeks. Nanny, you're going to get us all in trouble. Trouble is my middle name, Nanny Faye shot back, winking. As the visit wore on, Julie found herself asking about the little things she missed most. Grayson's school projects, Savannah's new makeup line, Chase's latest escapades, and even Nanny Faye's gossip from the neighborhood. Each story was a thread, weaving a tapestry of normalcy that Julie could wrap herself in during the long, lonely nights. Eventually, the guard signaled that time was up. Julie's heart sank, but she refused to let it show. Instead, she stood tall, hugging each of her family members tightly. Y'all take care of each other, she said, her voice firm. And remember, I'm with you every step of the way, even if it's from in here. We love you, Mom, Savannah said, tears streaming down her face. I love you too, Julie replied, her voice cracking. As the steel door closed behind her family, Julie stood alone in the visitation room, the warmth of their presence still lingering in the air. She took a deep breath, straightened her posture, and whispered to herself, I can do this. For them. Back in her cell that evening, Julie sat on her bunk, a small smile playing on her lips. The day had been a gift, a reminder of the life she still had waiting for her on the other side of these walls. And as she closed her eyes to sleep, she carried the sound of their laughter and the feel of their hugs into her dreams.